Welcome to our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Genesis. We've been spending the last several sessions talking about the story of creation, the account of creation in Genesis chapter 1, and the wonder that all that is was made by the hand of God. We want to kind of wrap up today this first account of creation in chapter 1 of Genesis by some concluding thoughts or theological thinkings on the account of creation. Now notice, of course, that Genesis 1 verse 1 begins by saying, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." God created all that is. And then the first verse of chapter 2 says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array." The first thing we've got to understand from the creation story, the primary message, is that God is God. It is He who made us. All that is came from the hand of God. Nothing exists that was not made by the hand of God. God alone is Lord, and He alone is the Creator. This means that as Christians, we do not believe in what is called pantheism. Pantheism is the ancient pagan idea that God and creation are the same thing, that nature itself is God. Pantheism believes that the creation itself is eternal and is God. And although that's an ancient pagan idea, it's still very prevalent in our world today. And you find in secular thinking, a lot of people worship nature or worship the creation. They believe that the universe is eternal, that the universe itself has no beginning, and they're not sure whether it'll have an end or not, but they do believe that all matter, all things are, the substance of things, matter, is eternal. That is not the biblical idea, and that is not the revealed will of God. All matter, all universe, all that is, had a beginning from the creative activity of God. God alone is King. We do not worship nature. We do not worship things. We worship only God because He is. Now we hallow nature and we reverence nature because it's the hand of God. And we realize that as God's stewards, men and women were made to be stewards over creation. We are to take care of that which God created, but we do not worship it. We worship only God. So God is the creator. God is the creator. Nature, the world, the universe is the creation. Also, the creation story teaches us that God alone is eternal. Only God is eternal. Everything else has a beginning. Everything else has a starting point in the creative work of God. Only God is eternal. It also teaches us that we are not God. We are creation. We are the handiwork of God. We are not God ourselves. Now, in a couple of chapters, when we get to chapter 3, we're going to see that the primary temptation is to forget that and to begin to worship ourselves. We're going to see that when the devil tempts Adam and Eve, he says, if you'll take of this fruit, you can be like God. You can be God. We'll talk about that more in detail when we get to chapter 3. But right now, we just want to understand that in the creation story itself, in chapter 1, we already realize that we are not God. God is God. He's the only one. We are simply His creator, His creation. He is the creator, and our worship is for Him alone. So these are the primary things we draw from the creation story, theologically speaking. God alone is eternal. All the universe was created. God alone is Lord. There is no other. And our role is to worship and serve Him who created us all. Also, underlying the story of creation is the story of redemption. Because God created all that is, when the creation was marred by sin, God set about to redeem it, to restore it. And the whole Bible is the story of God's redeeming work. As I said, when we get to chapter 3, we're going to see how God's creation was marred by our sin. But God was not willing to leave it that way. And His work of redemption, His work of salvation in Jesus Christ, is to restore His creation to what He always intended it to be, what He created it to be. So embedded in the story of creation itself is the story of redemption and the lengths to which God is willing to go to restore His creation. And when you get to the end of the Bible, the book of Revelation, we're going to see there's going to come that day when there's the new heavens and the new earth, and all is restored, all is redeemed. Creation is made absolutely right again. It's a wonderful story, is it not? And a wonderful account. God is the creator, and he will redeem his creation through Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Now, our next session together, we're going to move into the second account of creation, which is in Genesis chapter 2. In chapter 1, we see creation as the vast cosmic wonder of it all. But in chapter 2, we'll see the same story, the same account, but told from a close-up personal view as God creates Adam and Eve, man and woman. But we'll look at that tomorrow. I hope you have a great day today. I hope it's a blessed day. Enjoy this creation that God has given to us. And I'll see you next time for our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Genesis.